What's up? My name is Ryan, my Minecraft username is Quaker Assassin, and these are my worlds. This first one is a server world. It was for survival that I played with one other person. I built all of the buildings in here, and this is the first one I built, actually, to start off the entire thing. I was going for a sort of fantasy setting, and so you can see that throughout. This here is the Spleef Arena that I was building towards the end of the use of this map. I eventually gave up because trying to get enough lava to fill the Spleef Arena was a daunting task, to say the least. So after about 6 runs up and down the mine shaft, all the way to bedrock level with an inventory full of lava, I decided to just give up. But here you can see the main street that I did not give up on. All of the buildings in this map stem from over here. The path goes from the church, which is behind us, all the way to the nether portal, which sort of started off on a big rock structure, so I sculpted it down to this little monolith. I think it adds a little ominous effect. And over here is the wizard tower, which is just where we keep all of our enchanting and brewing equipment. Each level is dedicated to one or the other, and there's a window floor. The floor is made of glass so that you can see all the way up and out. And the cauldrons are put under an open area so that they can refill in the rain. Over here is the farmhouse, which is pretty much just a glorified pathway down from the main pathway to the actual wheat fields. So you can see here the staircase that takes you down because we built the city on the hill. And over here is where the farmer would sleep, or you'd sleep if you were just caught out here and didn't want to fight some creepers to get back. So these are the actual wheat fields, which are, I'd like to say they're the most efficient design, but I'm sure someone would prove me wrong. But they're definitely efficient enough to feed 2 people consistently. We had so much bread that we just had stacks and stacks filling double chests. And over here is a waterfall I made. I never really quite finished it because the bottom part was supposed to be filled with lapis lazuli, and well, that's not really the rarest material. It's rare enough that that never got done. And it was sort of a side project because it wasn't necessary. So over here's not my first creative world, but my first serious creative world. So I decided to build 2 big, just like aesthetic houses. So I did not scrimp at all on expenses, as you can see from the diamond floor. But I also wanted to keep it classy. Or at least a little bit. So over here's the garage, which is sort of the area that I play with little bits the most. So you can see all the little detailing with the fences. There's really nothing that's supposed to be, but it adds it's nice. It adds a bit. And over here is the hallway that I lit with lava, which not exactly what you'd expect in a suburban house, but it's a Minecraft house, so you get more leeway than in real life. There's no worry about children dying. So you can have chandeliers of just dangling, boiling hot lava. Yep. Safety. And then out those double doors, right there, is the pool area. You can sort of see it on the left of this shot, but I don't actually have a good shot of it, sadly. It's got a hot tub and a main pool. And over here is a little chimney I added. The idea is that it vents heat from the lava, but you know, that's just the idea. And this is the second house now, which is just it's a 3-story house. This here is the master bedroom, which has a big painting and then a double bed and a nice little carpet with a cool design in the middle. And over here you can see the other house, and you should have been able to see the other 2 houses, but you know, never got built. And then the third floor is supposed to be like the attic business business sort of office space, so it's got the enchantment table and a crafting bench. Just a lone crafting bench, nothing else. Here's a cottage. This was really just designed to look nice. It was about a 30-minute build. It doesn't really... It's not like the survival world that I had with, like, the really efficient wheat and, like, parts of the building missing so that you don't have to carry buckets up. It's pretty much the complete opposite. You can see the wheat fields over here are incredibly inefficient, but that's just so that they'll look nice. Because I really just wanted this to make renders of. Gives you a nice view of the fields from inside. I sort of wanted to give it the aesthetic of like a little old lady's cottage where she's got her little garden outside and it's not really built for a lot of people. It's got a little kitchen and then nice view of the lake with something that randomly generated there, the little structure. Didn't really notice it until I was making this video. This one is my favorite actually, by far. I have a bigger one, but this one's my favorite build, like, on the whole. I just thought it came out really nicely. So, first, we're gonna visit the guest bedroom. So, you know, it's just a very simple, bedroom and, like, bathroom. But, the entire map's really simple, but it's got a nice simplicity, like minimalism. And over here is an infinity pool, because screw subtlety. And this is the main house. You can see the raised area. I tried to sort of show it off in the guest bedroom too, but that's all of the lighting is provided by redstone lamps, so that's where I hid the redstone wiring. And here's the kitchen. It's got a little flower box out to add some soul. And then the flyover. You can see over here to the right, you can see the next building that we're going to visit. It's sort of built into the mountain, into the side of the mountain. So it's got a little zen garden. I really just built this because I wanted to build something on the side of the mountain. So unlike that last house, that it was sort of built so that it would seem like someone lived here, or lived there. This one, none of the spaces really serve a purpose, except to just look cool. So there's a definitely a different mindset that I built this one in. But I think it also turned out very nice. And you can see how it's positioned in the mountain as I fly away here. And here is my biggest build. The one that I was talking about earlier. It was intended to reach the block limit, but it didn't. I think I gave it a good shot, though. It goes pretty high. Oh, you can, well, past it. That little bit of an overhang you saw there, if you did catch it, is a wheat dropper that I'll point out later when we're actually inside, where it drops from. So, I decided to build a big foyer area, like entryway, to really welcome you in to how big this building's going to be. It's about 3 stories high and a sort of half circle or half sphere. And there are windows every which way, and a lot of balconies. I really wanted to emphasize the fact that you were going up in this build, so I think there are 4 or 5 balconies, maybe less, I don't know. And then several viewing areas, but those really become more prevalent further up. I also had a rule that I wasn't ever going to repeat the same room when I was building this. The 2 you just saw came dangerously close, but I fixed it with by putting some enchanting tables and bookshelves down. And, of course, spiders. Yes. Creatures always get in my builds, and they're annoying, but it doesn't take away from the coolness of the ballroom. You can see that there's sort of an ongoing theme in the build of iron and gold, and in this area they mix. There's another area where they mix too, and also those windows across line up with the sun, and I think it's a really cool feature of it. And this is the point where I just started building rooms, so really nothing from here on out has any purpose at all. What little purpose the other ones had, completely gone, which is why you get rooms like this, where one side's just a dead end. This is probably the only room in the entire build that I'm, like, completely unhappy with. But it's an abandoned build, so I'm not going to go back and fix that and try and figure out something else to do with it. And I did skip a floor there, if you noticed. But it was also one that I'm not very happy with, so yeah, you're not missing much. So up here, just some more pointless space filler rooms. And also no light. I think the next floor we're going to reach is it's the wheat farm, yeah. Which, I'll show you in a second, is where there's a little dropper here that's powered by redstone that drops a stream of water down into a hole. And you can then just throw your wheat into it to transfer it down real quick. Sort of trying to add function to it to make it seem like someone actually lived here, but I think that no, it didn't work. This does not look like a castle that anyone would want to live in. For one thing, to get to the top, from the top to the bottom, or vice versa, you have to go outside, and it's freezing out, obviously. But this is not a survival type build by any stretch of the imagination. You can tell that by how much gold there is. And this sort of starts the second tier. I built this over the course of a week or so, so there are clear, like, stopping and starting points every once in a while. Oh, that was just me setting the time, because it was getting dark out. But yeah, you can see the interlocking gold and iron thing coming back into play over there. It sort of meets at a block of diamond. You can see it better from below, well, a little bit ago. And there's just me doing some repair work, because apparently I completely missed that I didn't fill it in. You can go either way in this bit. I don't know why I go both. They both go to the same spot, but I'll prove it anyways, just in case you doubt me. And also because I hate skeletons. And clearly I want to murder all of them. So, around this point, the constant viewing areas / balconies really comes into effect, because I was like, oh man, I'm so high up. Gotta put a lot of glass everywhere, even if some of it doesn't actually look all the way down. But yeah, this is about the top now. You can actually see the very top over by that airship. But here are the, like, two main viewing platforms down the staircase. The first one I built, and I decided that's not good enough, so I built another one directly below it that you have to look through. So they're sort of redundant, but it's still cool. And then over here is the high dive disguised as a balcony. That's still just really a high dive. So you can just drop right down into the river. That, luckily enough, was not frozen over, so I still have my legs. And then this is the final walk. I decided instead of just having one long walkway to the end, I should have two, so it double backs on itself. And then, kablow, you reach the airship landing pad. Which, I'm not great at making airships, and it's not exactly a giant airship, but, you know, you can sleep in it. And then get hit by all the books the second this thing starts moving and rocking around. And in the very top, which I try and jump off of, but you can't really do successfully without flying, so yeah. The building actually, like, turns around on itself, so it kind of messes you up on later levels on where to actually jump from. And And then this is my current project. I actually finished it today, but don't have any pictures from it as of recording this. And I think 15 minutes is a long enough video. So just trust me that it's finished and it exists. And it should hopefully be a part of a large city that I'll be building. Or at least a medium-sized city. Or just a couple roads in that building. But yeah, I hope you guys like my submission, and I hope to be seeing you guys on the server.